Hello, everybody. Welcome to this special edition of Bedford County Sports Talk Live. I'm David Thomas. This is Bill Anderson. We're going to talk about some keys to the game of the Sheffield Central High School versus Coffee County game, an away game, Bill, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, right up the road. Last year, Shelbyville 38, Coffee County 17, but this isn't last year.
This is not last year, and Coffee County is a better team this year. They got a bigger line, they got better athletes, so it's going to be a fight.
They've won they beat Franklin County 49-0, and they beat Tullahoma 24-21. That was a big game, and probably it was the Coffee Bowl.
Right.
That's everything. They hadn't even had that game in a while. So they're coming off a big emotional high. We're coming off a bit of a downer against Marshall County. Like Coach Dryden said, we lost the game.
Yeah.
I mean, we had every chance in the world to win the football game. But the key to me in this game, I hate to keep going back to it, you got to limit the penalties. You're going to get penalties in this game whether you commit them or not, but you better limit. Not limit it, because they're going to be looking for any little thing.
No bonehead stuff.
No, because they're looking for that.
We had a call last week against Marshall County that was one of those that he could have kept it in his pocket.
Uh-huh.
All right, you had a defender, our defender, coming at one of their running backs, going down the sidelines. His foot was on the line. Our player made the tackle, and it was considered a late hit because his foot was on the line.
We were standing right there, and the whistle had not blown when he hit him. They had not blown the whistle.
No. So they called that
you and I were standing right there.
And the word is that's a point of emphasis.
Uh-huh.
How about just make the calls? Just don't emphasize, just make the right calls. But we can expect borderline stuff like
it's going to go
against us.
It is.
It's going to go against us.
Because there's already been a pattern set, and we've had too many penalties called on us.
Right.
The other key to the game to me is special teams. I hate to harp on it. You go back and watch. They like to squib every kick.
Yeah.
And they've gotten a lot of turnovers the first two games by squibbing it, and the ball bouncing around the way they kick it. So your guys that are back, you're going to have to do a great job of handling a rough football that's rolling around on the ground.
Right.
Because that created turnovers in the Franklin County game and the Tullahoma game. They're very well coached on special teams. And that's what key to this game to me is going to be special teams. Don't let it kill you.
I think that, plus build that line, their defensive line, they have got a couple of pretty good-sized young men.
A couple?
Yeah.
All of them.
Well, there's the three.
I don't think you'll see a line any bigger than Coffee County's the rest of the year.
Well, you got number 66 that starts for them. Uh-huh. He's a little smaller than the other two, and he's more our size. And then we got two big guys.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be hard to move out of there. So our offensive line is going to have a challenge to get some space for Robert.
And how offensively do we get the ball to our playmakers in space?
Right.
I do not think you can come out here and run the ball between the tackles on this defensive line. Now, we make him break a big run. I'm not saying we won't.
We will. We will.
Good.
But we need to pass for 150 yards or more.
Right. And it doesn't have to be necessarily bombs, but it could be a screen, a slant.
The first series of single balance.
Yes.
That will keep them out of whack, I think. Because
I would love to see a wheel route to Robert or a screen, because I think it's a touchdown the first time you run it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely it would be. And even some little quick slant to William.
Sure.
And get him in space, because he's dangerous with the ball.
Oh, absolutely.
So we've got the
things crossing across the middle where Stephen can get it to him.
Right. Running across his face. So
he sees it.
Easy pitch and catch.
Easy pitch and catch. Get him going. Get him in a rhythm.
And you get our offense clicking, passing and running, we're going to be tough to handle. And if our defense plays, we're going to be tough to handle.
Screen slants, attack the edge. That's the key to me on offense. Right. Defensively, there's a challenge here too. They're, again, as big as they are on defensive line, their offensive line is big.
Right.
And what they're going to want to do is run for 3, 4, cloud of dust, take 10 minutes off the clock, limit the possessions, keeps us off the field.
Yeah.
That's going to be their goal coming in. And the question that I have, can our defense set the edge here? Can we set the tone on defense? Get off the field on third down. Don't give up 4 yards a pop.
We're going to have to bring some pressure to their line.
We have to.
We've got to shoot in there and disrupt some stuff.
Sure.
Because 4 yards in a cloud of dust wins a lot of ball
games. It will win this game Friday night if that happens. It will win the game.
Create some turnovers. We haven't got any turnovers this year.
Right.
Like we should. We had the interception last week.
Yep.
But we need a couple of fumbles here.
Right.
And Coffee County's capable of fumbling.
They are very capable of it. You got to tackle well. You're going to have to hit, fill the gaps. And then if you do overcommit, and number 2 comes out at quarterback, which is possible, don't let him hit you over the top without a safety back there.
Right.
Because he can throw the football. If he's the quarterback, he can chuck it.
Right.
You're going to Mississippi State on a baseball scholarship for a reason.
Yes,
you've got a good arm.
All right. So weather for the game, we're probably going to start out around 80 to 82 degrees at kickoff, and it's going to cool off into the 70s. So it's not going to be excessively hot, not a lot of wind. Probably going to be a good night for football. A little warm, but good. Not
it's going to be good.
And
it's going to be a good weekend for football.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
70s and 40s at night.
So,
upper 40s.
Big game. I feel like this is a pivot game for the Eagles. You'd rather come out of this 2-1 going into Columbia versus 1-2 because you don't need to pick up a
you need momentum going into region play.
And we start that next week at home.
And that's the game of games.
Yes.
Is the Columbia game.
Whoever wins
that's when really
game,
your season starts.
Whoever wins that game takes control.
They control their own destiny the rest of the season in this region.
On, either one of those teams could win out.
Sure.
So it's going to be big. So this tune-up for next week, we got to have a good showing. And I really think we need to pass the ball.
Interesting stat I told you before we went on the air. The Shelbyville Golden Eagles have now won 6 in a row on the road.
6 on the road.
Our last 3 losses have come up here at home. That was hard to believe. I actually saw that on Max Preps.
Wow.
And David Thomas, thank you for getting those stats on Max Preps. Parents been thinking all day. It was wonderful to have it up there.
We're going to keep those up as long as we can keep getting them, and we're going to do the best we can. Right now.
And guess where Robert Bailey is?
He's number 1 in the state, number 8 nationwide.
Listen to that.
That's not in Class 5A either. That's in all classes. He's number 1.
And 6 touchdowns in 2 games.
Tennessean Player of the Week.
Awesome. And the fans for voting. That was key.
Yeah. So Robert will have another big game, I'm sure. I look for Stephen to have a good game. And I think we're going to have a receiver pop up. And I think Mr. William Bobo.
I think you may have a Bobo to Bobo here, too.
Yeah.
I can see it coming. But the key to me is special teams. Watch those squib kicks. How do you handle it? Because when I watched the film I watched, every time that's what they do, David. Not once. Yeah. It's every time.
Yeah.
And it's directional and it's well done.
Right. We can't have 3 or 4 personal fouls either.
We cannot have that. We can't have
that. And
they're going to goat you a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to.
That's what they did over here at Tullahoma. I'm told was their players were goading the Tullahoma players, talking trash and smack, trying to get you to react to them.
You got to play ball.
You just got to play ball, let it go, and smile.
Yeah. All right. Well, big game tomorrow night. Everybody get out and support the Eagles at Coffee County. Game starts at 7:00. Get there early. Get you a hamburger or something. Get ready for some football. And we'll be back on Saturday to talk of some sports, all high school, local.
Right. And we're going to have Coach Evan Gay from Webb coming. He'll be on with us Saturday morning.
Right. And on the square Saturday, there's a hot rods and health fair, and we're going to be up there with some NFL players doing some interviews.
Brad Hopkins, Donnie Nicky, we know they're going to be there.
Yeah, and Al Smith.
Yep.
So we'll be up there doing that. So y'all tune in Saturday.